My name's Adam Manaka and I'm the Financial Controller for Hi-Tech Oils. With our national capacity, we can now service Australian companies nationwide. Of late, we have now expanded into the New Zealand market. Here at Hi-Tech Oils, we receive premium base oils and premium additive packs. Together, with our highly trained staff, we manufacture over 500 premium quality products. Hi-Tech Oils is Australian made and Australian owned.
For the second time in a week, Queensland Raceway is the focal point of Australian motor racing with the Shannons Nationals at Ipswich for round 4 of 6 of their 2018 series. This fantastic array of motorsport has already put on shows in South Australia, Victoria. It is terrific to be in the Sunshine State this weekend, and we'll continue the journey to Victoria and the finale, of course, in Sydney next month. At the end of Champions Way here at Willowbank is where you'll find us, Queensland Raceway, all part of this motorsport precinct here, just about 50 k's rather, in fact, to the southwest of Brisbane, and there's lots for every racing enthusiast here too, from open top prototypes to high horsepower sports sedans, production cars and much more.
Shannons Nationals well underway, and we're at the halfway point of the Porsche Michelin GT3 Cup Challenge Australia. A brilliant Jim Richards Endurance Trophy race last night was won by the championship leader Cooper Murray, his young rival Max Vidau alongside him. Speaking of alongside, great man Greg Rust, he's run upstairs. Looking forward to calling this with you, great man.
I've really enjoyed this class of racing in 2018. It's not overstating it. There are 6 young competitors at least, if not more, in this class that could quite rightly stake a claim in 2019, the next rung up as far as Porsche competition in this country is concerned.
Here's how this Porsche Michelin GT3 Cup Challenge Australia race played out, race 2 of 3, at the halfway point of the championship. For the second time in 2 days, it was a great start from Max Vidau. He led the field into turn 1, but this was a terrific bit of racing through turn 4 and 5. Fallon first, then Vidau tried to attack to retake the race lead. Unfortunately, that just left the door open for Cooper Murray to go down the inside at 6. That got him to second place.
There was some good performances on that cold rubber that proved decisive in the end. Chelsea Angelo in a good fight for third. This caught our attention early on in the race. That's a nice save. Here's the lock break for Vidau. Cooper Murray sees it going pear-shaped and makes a really good call as well.
Smart racing and great awareness to see that car coming at the rate it was. Open up the steering, didn't turn the car in when he could have, and avoided an accident. So Max Vidau was then on the comeback trail. He and Dan Day worked in tandem to pass their way through the field. Brett Dalton found himself 2 positions further back, but would hold on to grab the win in Pro-Am. And then Murray hunted down Simon Fallon. He got within 2/10 of the lap record in his pursuit as well. Ultimately, though, the number 96 car from Sonic Motor Racing was good enough to hold on and to take his 3rd race win of the season.
Great result for the team and for Fallon, and good from the championship point of view too. These are the 2 guys fighting up in front, but Fallon's been the chaser coming into this round.
Here's how they line up. The final race in round 4 of the Porsche Michelin GT3 Cup Challenge Australia. Simon Fallon, thanks to his 3rd victory of the season, starts this one from pole. Championship leader and the points leader for the round, Cooper Murray, goes from the outside of the front row. Chelsea Angelo with good rubber on her pace, number 38 entry, goes from 3rd. Jimmy Vernon next. Dan Day, Max Vidau with work to do from 6th down to our Class B leader Christian Pancioni from 10th place. Lots to like in this one. Cooper Murray looking for a 3rd straight overall round victory with a 1st and a 2nd so far. Simon Fallon looking to mix things up. 12 laps the distance. Race 3 at QR is underway.
Another brilliant start from Fallon. Gee, he's been good at that this weekend. Launches away, gets traction beautifully. Someone's struggling a little off the line there. What about Chelsea Angelo? Fighting for 2nd position through turn 1, but Murray just goes that fraction deeper, braver, maybe a little on the colder tyres, and hangs on to it.
Nevertheless, a great start for the number 38 pace entry from Wall Racing. Max Vidau is up 2 as well. He's in that Bob Jane T-Mart 77, looking to the inside of Angelo, who covers her line, but leaves a Porsche which down the inside for the South Aussie to dive down and try and wrestle 3rd place away. But Simon Fallon, another brilliant start, down into turn one. His starts have been perfect, Rusty. He went up 2 spots off the line yesterday, and he's done the same. He's gained advantage every start he's made this weekend.
Yeah, absolutely perfect. So it's Fallon leading the way from Murray, Angelo and Vidau, but Vidau now gets it done. So on the run to the middle part of the circuit, moves up into 3rd position. Now Chelsea trying to defend. Vernon's there. Dan Day's had a pretty reasonable start as well. But then ahead of Vidau, you can see that gap. Look at the advantage that both Fallon and Murray now enjoy. Day trying to have a look. Angelo's really got a hands full here. Vernon pressing for that position too. Yeah,
that strong start from Chelsea actually caused her to be on the back foot in that battle she had with Max Vidau through turn 4, 5 and 6. Just sliding the 38 car around, just trying to get some momentum back under pretty serious pressure from Jimmy Vernon. I had a brief chat to team boss and reigning Carrera Cup Australia champ David Wall before this. He said, we think a lot of our immediate rivals took 2 new tyres for the race earlier today, so there'll be a little bit of a levelling factor in the condition of their Michelins in this one. Driving defensively, covering her line, as you're entitled to do with the one move down the inside at turn 3. A freight train of Porsche's behind.
Oh, round.
Oh, no, Sam Fillmore. After a really good run earlier today in race 2, that car's pointing in the wrong direction at 3.
Meantime, up in front, I've just spoken, in fact, to Barry Hay as I ran along the pit lane to come up and join you here. Engineer, of course, for Cooper Murray. He said he's looking more intense than ever at the moment. He doesn't like the thought of someone getting in front of him. This guy wants to be, and he's showing all the right signs of being a proper professional motor racer. And he is starting to apply the pressure now. Car danced a little under brakes coming down into that final turn as he keeps that pressure on Murray. Meantime, Vidau has pulled clear of Chelsea Angelo, and she's actually got a little bit of breathing space now over Vernon and Dan Day.
I think Dan Day is keeping Jimmy Vernon quite busy in what is a battle for 5th and 6th position. So those two fighting it out. Max Vidau with clean air in front of the Bob Jane Porsche from Sonic Motor Racing. He's the fastest man on the racetrack at the moment. 1:12.63 last time round. Didn't make a point talking about tyre condition. I wonder if Lewis Leeds might actually be in good shape as Simon Fallon just torches initially going into turn 3. Remember, an unfortunate DNF in the race yesterday, but between his 2 sets of Michelins, he's 40 laps to the better.
Take a look at the replay here. Well, was there contact there with Scotty Taylor? Hard to tell from that angle.
It looked like it. Just front bar to rear corner and just entering the shot sideways already. That big braking zone, the big stop, 240 kilometres an hour in 6th gear, a Porsche 911 GT3 Cup car at this point of the racetrack. Cooper Murray's using all of them at the moment to try and find his way past Simon Fallon. Fallon's got the racing line. He'll go deeper, and that will force Murray to go to the inside. And one of the great things about this racetrack, Rusty, is the over-under turn 3 to turn 4. And if you do exactly what Simon Fallon did, you go from defending a line at 3, you can still defend your line at turn 4, even though the corner's the opposite direction.
And look at how Vidau has closed the gap here. He's looking really aggressive. So that Murray's run wide through the middle part of the track and loses the place, drops back to 3rd.
That's about the first mistake he's made in 3 rounds this year, Rusty. That was an error from Cooper Murray, a little bit wide, and he's got dramas on the front. There's damage. Championship leader, could be a key moment. It looked like there was radiator fluid pouring out.
Yeah.
I wonder if when he bounced out over that exit curb, it's broken a radiator hose, perhaps.
Oh, big. Remember the championship battle. So coming into this round, Murray with the advantage over Fallon, but Fallon's had a very good Sunday here so far and continues to lead this race. This could really make things interesting heading into the final few rounds of this championship.
So the margin was more than 50 points coming into this race, but with his closest rival leading, this is an enormous turn up. The guy in 3rd in the championship is now 2nd in the motor race. So this is like a big reset. I'm interested to see what caused that. Remember, he was battling wheel to wheel with Simon Fallon for the race lead. He went round the outside at turn 4, slotted in behind, and then dropped a couple of wheels off on corner exit. I wonder if it was just a mistake, and that car now very much limping. I'm sure I saw fluid coming out of that car, Rusty, and
he's almost at the back of the field. He's about to go to the midpoint of the track, and one wonders where the Ash Seawood team mightn't call him in. I mean, there's nothing to be gained if he's last in the motor race here at the moment.
Here's a look. So Cooper Murray, black and gold car behind. There was contact. front to rear, and I think it's punched the tow hook into the radiator. So, and there's definitely fluid coming out of that as Ross McGregor has a spin at turn 3. So there was contact. Just checked up a little bit coming out of turn 4, Simon Fallon. I'm not sure if he was having a slide or slight hesitation as he grabbed a gear. Wow,
Man.
that could be a key moment in this championship that ebbs and flows, and like Porsche one-make racing in Australia at the moment, it's compelling right through the field and right through the championship. So a reset with 7 of 12 laps complete. Fallon by 1.5 seconds. Max Vidau in second, which is a great comeback. Chelsea Angelo third. Jimmy Vernon fourth.
Look at this. You've made mention before of his tyre position. He's up to 6th now. It's starting to threaten Dan Day. So good drive from Lewis Leeds after unfortunately missing out on race 1 yesterday with that fuel issue.
And he was really frustrated with that too, Rusty, because he said it's the first round this year. We've been really comfortable with the car. We unlocked something in it between rounds. We've had an issue we've been chasing all season. He said, I felt really comfortable, qualified in the top 4, and then it broke. Just one of those motor racing moments, isn't it, where you throw your hands up in the air and if the racing gods are against you on a weekend, they're against you.
His good mate Thomas Randall, of course, had success in the sports sedan race this morning. Lewis was there to see him as soon as he returned from the circuit. Yeah, they talked about that fuel pump issue, but he's driving like a demon here at the moment. He's continuing to push some good lap times from Lewis Leeds, but it's Fallon leading the way from Vidau. Vidau has the fastest lap of the race. The margin between those two guys is 1.5 seconds.
That's Ross McGregor, Victorian, vastly experienced racer and one of the most experienced now in the Porsche Michelin GT3 Cup Challenge. Despite that experience, just a little bit wide going into turn 3, and whereas we think we saw contact there earlier, that was all on his own. This is Dan Day. He's in front, young South Aussie, well-known motor racing family from that part of the world. It's been a difficult start to his GT3 Cup Challenge campaign. They've had to reshelter his car between rounds as Lewis Leeds looks down the inside in the better tyre condition on the Yarra Valley Towing 23 Red Racing entry. But this has been a really solid performance. I thought his drive to 5th, Rusty, in race 2 earlier this morning, really competent, smooth, controlled, just brought it home, got some points. This will be a great confidence boost as he heads into the last couple of rounds in the championship. We're off to Winton next, so 6 corners here, 14 of them at Winton, more than double. So it's a completely different scenario. And then the final round will be with the Shannons Nationals when we head to Sydney Motorsport Park in September. It's a great Porsche racetrack.
It sure is, and you're headed there very soon, in fact, for the Premier class, which will have some very special guests again, attending from Asia, a bumper double-header round.
More than 50 Porsches will be there, Rusty. Carrera Cup Asia coming back down, which is exciting. A key round in the Porsche Wilson Security Carrera Cup Australia with Jackson Evans leading that championship at a slightly diminished margin. Dylan O'Keefe, a winner for the first time out in Darwin last time. So some new names and faces at the front of that field. It's hugely compelling, and it's a championship where literally hundredths of a second decide the margins.
And the story for us from the Porsche Michelin GT3 Cup Challenge is who will make the step up in 2019, and there's plenty that have rightly stuck their hand up and are showing the talent good enough to be there.
I think anyone in the top 5 or 6 potentially in this championship have the capability to jump up into the Porsche Carrera Cup. 2 names I just mentioned came from Porsche GT3 Cup Challenge, Jackson Evans and also Dylan O'Keefe, who are both very quick here. John Morris having a battle. This is Class B. Tony Martin is in the thick of the action as well in the Trifford-sponsored car, the Motec livery entry. The vastly experienced Victorian. His brother John is one of the most experienced drivers in this category's history. Phil's got a great track record. Came into this weekend 2nd in the Class B standings, which has been dominated by Christian Pancioni this weekend. Tom Taplin still 2nd in class. 3 to go at Queensland Raceway. Nothing's changed up front. You're not missing anything there. We go back and have a look at that young man. He's in the sandwich here. He's got Michael Hovey in front and Scott Taylor just in behind.
Love the sound of that magic Porsche flat 6 running down that back straight.
This is a pretty critical little fight. Now, my mathematics is not spectacular, Rusty, as you know. Cryo Maths is notoriously dodgy.
Better than mine. But better than mine.
I'm pretty certain this could be a fight for the final step on the podium between Chelsea Angelo and Jimmy Vernon. With the unpredictable results we've had, Max Vidau was in the top 2, then he dropped out. Same can be said now for Cooper Murray, who the 1st and the 2nd and a DNF may well drop off the podium completely. This is a battle for a step on the podium finish for the round. Neither of these drivers have had one yet, so they'll be fighting hard for a spot in the top 3.
And what role will Lewis Leeds play in that? He's not a contender for a podium. He doesn't care about that. He just wants a strong result to this final race of the weekend. So we're seeing Vernon, who dropped a couple of car lengths behind Chelsea for a little while, but has he saved a little something for these final few laps for a shot at that 3rd place? He doesn't look close enough at the moment. Angelo doing a nice job.
Leaders still split by 1.3 seconds. Max Vidau's just punched out his personal best lap of the race, but the best laps between those 2 leading cars separated by less than 100th of a second.
Oh, someone's gone off down at the turn 3, big, and there's 2 cars off down there, in fact. So
Tom Taplin, and that's David Gregg, I think, as well, or is it Andrew Goldie? It's Goldie, the West Aussie, has just run through the extra layer of tyre protection put down there. The leaders are on their final lap. So just gentle contact there for Goldie, Class B runner. Great story yesterday, had a fight for 40 laps with David Gregg for 3rd place in Class B. No cool suit. He was absolutely naked last night, but they both loved it, said it's one of the better races they've ever had. So they're okay, gentle contact. Tom Taplin was the other one. He was running 2nd in Class B. So just run off the road. I wonder if there might have been some fluid down there.
Yeah, another lock up for Vernon. So he's had a large. Well, we have seen some other cars come through there safely, but I thought exactly the same. Was there an issue? We're on the run home. That's the main thing. Fallon leading and looking like taking another race win here. Vidau looking aggressive. I love it when he drives in that manner. He was a bit frustrated by taking the same approach at times at Phillip Island, wasn't he? But it is a joy to watch these guys and girls compete in this manner. But Fallon, this is a good performance from him. It looks like Vidau's run a fraction wide, not the ideal line through the final turn. He's had a shot at it, but congratulations to Fallon, who will take it out. 2 from 2 on Sunday here at the Shannons Nationals.
Brilliant drive, critical round to capitalise as well. So this was Tom Taplin, Rusty, and we only caught the end of this moment running out very, very wide and difficult to drive out of the gravel trap when you're that far in. So completely unrelated incident was Goldie just running off on his own. So separate incident. He just nerfed himself through that extra row of tyre protection down there at turn 6.
Take a look at the results for you from the final race of the weekend. Fallon on top from Max Vidau in race 3 of the weekend. Well done to Angelo, another great result off the back of a good race this morning. Jimmy Vernon not quite able to snatch that final place from her, and we hope that he's at the remaining 2 rounds. He deserves to be.
Absolutely does. Great job, Dan Day, 5th and a 6th today. And Brett Bolton, well done, wins the Pro-Am class, his first round victory. Well done, Simon Fallon, the winner, round 4 of the Porsche Michelin GT3 Cup Challenge Australia. What a weekend.
We'll grab a commercial break. Our thanks to Richard Crale for, as always, some brilliant insights. He knows Porsche and this class so well, and we'll grab a commercial break. Come back with more Queensland Raceway, just a moment.